Hi everyone, today I'll be discussing the concept of stigma in the sex work industry, which works alongside the central theme of blame, shame, and stigma. The reading that I have chosen is Resistance to Sex Work Stigma by Ronald Weiser, which highlights the stigma that affects sex workers, resulting in negative impacts on the ways they lead their work and personal lives. Weiser went on to demonstrate the lack of mention on whether and how stigma can be reduced or eliminated from any type of sex work in scholarly literature and the mass media. Despite the fact that stigma is well documented in studies of sex workers, from then a set of preconditions were also proposed for the reduction and elimination of stigma from sex work. Sex work stigma is the collective concept chosen from the reading. Stigma is one of the most important problems in sex work. It is present in sexual commerce. It is also well documented in research on pornography, prostitution, and commercial stripping as an obstacle that sex workers and their associates confront on a regular basis. The biggest problem with stigma in sex work is the fact that people are still projecting their own viewpoints of what sex work should be instead of putting sex workers on the front of the conversation. As a result, workers in the sex industry are often either victimized or demonized. The movie Hustlers is groundbreaking for its focus on a community that is really deemed worthy of the big-budget studio treatment, women who do sex work. However, this representation of strip club life to come out of Hollywood also perpetuates several stigma against sex workers. Firstly, the sex worker as thief stereotype as portrayed by the movie is damaging and runs counter to the idea that sex work is work and should therefore have labor protections. The prevalent trope feeds the idea that sex workers are criminals instead of professionals who deserve to be compensated for their labor. The quote that I have chosen today is, "Since stigma is not inherent in any kind of behavior and is instead a social construction, it can be countered and deconstructed to always be practiced in circumstances of relative safety, security, freedom, hygiene, and personal control." The idea of stigma as a social construct was introduced here to imply stigma is subjective to contemporary ideas in society and is therefore subjective to change. Destigmatizing sex work was said to be the solution for ensuring a safe and secure environment for sex workers in the sex industry. This leads us to a recent controversy around OnlyFans and Bella Thorne. OnlyFans is a subscription site known for adult content. OnlyFans has helped bring attention to sex work in the mass media, as well as offer a positive picture of sex workers and their clients. Most importantly, OnlyFans has put X-rated entertainment in the hands of its entertainers. Many sex workers relied on OnlyFans as their sole source of income during the pandemic, as in-person encounters became unsafe. But what especially angered workers was how Thorne caused a wave of chargebacks that broke OnlyFans after fans accused her of promising a $200 pay-per-message new photo that she then shied away from sending. And shortly thereafter, OnlyFans changed its terms and conditions, making it so much harder to earn money. OnlyFans has played an important part in helping normalizing sex work to some extent, but it couldn't protect its own users from being stolen. So to end this presentation today, I have a question for you. Does erasing sex work stigma really the solution to all problems? Is it synonymous to ending the battle over digital security and profits that everyone in the sex industry are being affected from today? Thank you for listening.